what would Big Boy Apocalypse look like in Marvel Rivals? So, gave him a nice little concept. So, I kind of based it around his Four Horsemen thing, that mythology, because, he's a tank, obviously, he's a big boy. So his primary is, arm cannon. So he shoots enemies, shaping his arm into cannons, because, he's got that ability. Then secondary abilities, arm blades, so he turns his arms into blades and swings them around. But onto his abilities, where I got the Horseman inspiration, since obviously he's a tank, he's got to make space. So first up is Spoils of War. So he creates a little floating shield, and when it's broken, it becomes a buff that he can give to an ally, making them the Horsemen of War, and it gives them enhanced damage. And then next up, we got Famine. So he creates a field of sand around himself that damages enemies, and that damage increases the lower his teammates' health in the vicinity is. So, the closer they are around and the more hurt they are, the more damage it does to enemies. It basically eats up their health as Famine does. Then next up, he's got Pestilence coding. So he gives a selected ally, the power of Pestilence, which, for those that don't know, it's like a fancy word for like disease. And so, he coats them so that their next attack from their primary fire, hits their enemy with Pestilence. So it slows the enemy down and deals damage over time. So, they basically get hit with that big old disease, like a big old debuff. Then he's got the passive of the first one. So the longer he survives for, a life, the more effective his abilities become. Gain the knowledge over time as Apocalypse does. And then his ultimate, which, may kind of be busted, but, I'm not a game dev, I'm just doing this for the love of the game. So, I don't have to worry about balance, and even if his ultimate sounds crazy. So he's got Death. So he revives a recently killed ally of his choice as the Horseman of Death. So it gives them constant regeneration as well as a field of decay. So, makes all their attacks do damage over time, and anyone within melee range of them takes damage over time because of that decay. So yeah, they're gonna get to work.